Hello and welcome to an episode that deals with writing for online journalism. This is today one of the most exciting possibilities that is opening up for both young and senior journalists. Clearly, the internet is the medium of the future. I am Ramesh Menon. I have been a journalist for the last 34 years, working with print, television and the new media. My stint as roving editor of Rediff.com was one of my most interesting stints in a long and exciting career in journalism. Welcome to the world of the internet. It is growing by the second and in the process touching millions of lives. No other medium has grown as fast. If you are not internet savvy, there is a danger that you will be left behind. Most importantly, the web is a staggering resource for journalists. The combined power of pictures, graphics, audio, text and interactivity available to millions of people online is the most significant change in mass communication since television. Combining this media is the essential definition of multimedia. To have this power on the internet in the form of the World Wide Web creates opportunities and dangers past our reckoning. The web is the most potentially powerful development in communications since the invention of the movable type. Let us quickly run through what we are planning to do today. Online journalism is quality news and information posted on the internet where viewers can see, hear and read it through their computers. In 1969, a network of computers linking two universities in California started to help academic and military researchers share their data. In 1989, that is 20 years later, Tim Berners-Lee, a Britisher living in Switzerland, proposed a computer protocol that would allow people to send images such as photos and graphics on this network. In December 1990, that part of the internet which was called the World Wide Web went up. This is what we now call the internet. It began small and look at where it has come and where it will go.
The concept of online journalism is still very fresh in India. So, what is online journalism? It's more of a reproduction of the print newspaper, print stories in the online format. Sometimes, if you are running a broadcast channel also, you put some small clips from your video that you have already taken. But multimedia package, the concept of multimedia package is still non-existent in India. Online journalism nowadays is more than just multimedia package creation. It is of social networking, it is of participation of audience. The advancement that has happened in online journalism is giving a new diaspora, it is creating a complete new panorama in the scenario of media. Online journalism has given such a new emphasis on media as fourth estate that its future is progress, it's threatening other forms of media as well.
The World Wide Web has emerged as a major news delivery system. Compared to broadcast and print journalism, it is still in its infancy, but has grown rapidly. Writing for the web is different, but interesting. Let's see what we need to take into consideration. Reading is slower online. our reading speed decreases by about 30% when we read on the web. This might frustrate some readers. Online journalists need to remember this every day. Most readers scan and not read. People do not read carefully if they are online. It's important to be as brief as possible. Make your writing slick. Pay attention to spelling, grammar and professional looks. Read it carefully before you upload. Rework if it does not sound right. Build your web page around your copy. Add pictures and graphics. You have to get eyeballs. Web pages must have magnetic headlines to attract readers. Use plenty of white space. Make navigation as easy as possible. Place a home button on every page. Give a choice to the reader. You could give an abstract and then give a link so that the full story could be accessed. Write short sentences. Keep paras short too. Conversational styles work particularly well on the web. Figure out the best way to tell your story. You could use audio, video and graphics to integrate the story using multimedia. It is a good idea to use the narrative technique by making use of action, conflict, motivation, setting, chronology and dialogue. Do not upload all your best stuff right in the beginning. Slowly unravel them and delight the reader. The last para must not just hang there, it must give a feeling that the piece of writing is over and done with. You will agree that the computer screen is not the easiest place to read large amounts of text. Readers may not scroll down the screen to read a long story. The Poynter Institute iTrack study of web viewing habits says that online readers go to headlines, captions and story briefs first rather than graphics and pictures. They use them as entry points and then figure out what to read. If it holds their interest, they will read and even scroll down if it is a longer piece. So, the trick to win readers is good writing. Do not use more words than you need. Avoid making all your sentences short and snappy. There has to be a mix of sentence lengths so that the rhythm of your writing improves. Avoid words with complex meanings if simple alternatives are available. Be specific rather than use generalities. Do not excessively use adjectives. Avoid cliches. Use punctuation correctly. Commas should be used where there is a mental pause in a sentence. Use quotes appropriately. Do not use a direct quote to impart mundane information. Use quotes to convey emotion, feeling, drama or information that is pivotal to the development of the story. Information is the basic raw material of journalism. The internet is not only a remarkable way for journalists to dispense information, but it is also a significant way for journalists to gather information. Just think of it. Today, the internet is like an encyclopedia, library, bookstore, university, phone book and a reference section all rolled into one. And all this can be got on your computer screen with a click of a button. The first para is often an object of anguish with most young reporters. Writing good intros is not easy. You have to put the essence of the story into the intro, or better still, just put in enough to hook the reader into reading. Ensure that the intro is short, getting to the main thrust of the story immediately. On radio and TV, you sometimes have to guide listeners and viewers gently into the story. However, on the web, you need to get to the story immediately. The headline attracts as many readers as possible into the text of the story. It can also help readers know what the story is even if they do not want to read the whole text. Harold Evans, who was an internationally acclaimed editor, said, "The art of the headline lies in imagination and vocabulary. The craft lies in accuracy of content, attractiveness of appearance, and practicality." Tips to write headlines: use the present tense, avoid punctuation, use names instead of designations, avoid putting in too much of information. In case of a double line heading, try to make the first line make sense on its own because it represents a complete thought on its own. To pull down a reader to a story, you need to write a blurb that is just 1 or 2 lines explaining the story and providing a hook to the reader to read the story. For example, if we say, "The Prime Minister survived an attempt to save his government from collapsing today as he won the non-confidence motion by a razor thin margin." This will arouse interest in the reader to read further. It will encourage them to click on the link to read the full story. The blurb has to convey the impact of the story clearly in 1 or 2 sentences. If you have a badly written blurb, remember that it is only those 2 sentences of your writing that the web surfer will ever read. We must remember that the web reader is typically a browser first. He or she reads the blurb and then decides if there is a need to read further. If you make a study of well prepared splash pages, which is where the blurbs are, you will see that most of them stick to just 2 or maximum 3 short sentences. Do not write a long sentence blurb. That itself will drive readers away. It may be a good idea for you to write the blurb as if you are not writing the rest of the story. It is also a good idea to read the blurb aloud. Ask yourself if it sounds right. If it does, it is okay. Unlimited space can be a blessing. You do not have a space crunch the way you have in newspapers or magazines, or even television for that matter. Stories can therefore be better done. There is space for analysis. There is space for background. Online journalists can easily do better than their broadcast and print colleagues if they work hard. You have the space to lay it out properly, work out boxes, put in still pictures, video, graphs, and so on. You can have a shorter version and then also have a longer one for those who have the time and interest. Journalists must remember they are storytellers first and last. They will fail in their role if their story is not understood. Because of the great ease and even temptation to click off a story and go somewhere else on the internet, journalists have no other choice than to keep their stories short and clean, visibly simple, attractive, and important. The web may have unlimited space, but too much cannot be put on a page. If you do that, your dull grey pages will drive readers away. So, you have to rely on your audience to keep clicking or linking to other pages, which can be a cumbersome process even for those with a powerful desktop setup. This is why many web users surf web pages for summaries of breaking and developing stories. Websites allow every newspaper and broadcast station to be both global in reach and local in focus. Blogs and other feedback loops on the web make it much easier for audiences to respond to stories. Space on the web is almost limitless. By creating links to other sites, news organizations can share far more information with the audiences than ever before. Many news websites have only recently become marginally profitable. As a result, news organizations often do not invest enough in them to take full advantage of the web. The web's display characteristics and limitations create a challenge for writers and editors. Audiences are likely to encounter information first as freestanding 1 or 2 sentence blurbs. The blurbs must arouse enough interest that audiences will click 1 or more times to find the rest of the story. Writing web blurbs well is crucial. Online is a multimedia format. You can use text, graphics and pictures as well as audio and video. The journalist of the future has to be able to wear different hats while working on a story. One is to write and organize the print story, then shoot the same story with video and sound, then edit that into a story that can go on television and also on the web. They'll also have to write a radio script for the next bulletin of the same story. And finally, even write an online story that can go on the web. A video of a plane crash would be odd, indeed, if it was silent. The most obvious difference with audio is that the audience actually gets to hear the words exchanged between the journalist and the interviewee. Questions should also be asked in such a way that the answer will not be just a yes or a no, as it will not work as a soundbite. The trick on the web is to take the strong values of print to online journalism while adopting the strengths of other traditional media and of the new media growing on the web. Television stole the passion and storytelling power that newspapers had forgotten. TV barged into your living room and took over your life. Now the web is poised to steal it from television, to combine the power of online journalism with the reliability of good newspapers, the depth of the library and the ability to quickly react to the demands of the audience. Using the camera, the web has transformed the experience of the user completely. Now users can see video, listen to sound, interact, react and have great fun with the web, which television denies. Here they can choose what they want and pursue their interests. Fashion reporters can cater exclusively to a fashion crazy audience. A small digital motion picture camera that is no more expensive is enough to get pictures that can go directly into the computer, where they can be cropped, colored, edited and stored without the laws of resolution. If you are at a news event, shoot with a wide shot. Hold it for at least 10 seconds so that the camera becomes the observer. Then zoom into the heart of the action. Hold the shot again for at least 10 seconds. Then repeat the shot to get different perspectives. Is this not how people generally observe? Their eyes have a full sweep of the area and then they focus on what they need to see. Use a tripod as far as possible to get a steady shot. Try and build sequences. Have a wide shot, a mid shot, a close up and you have a sequence of shots that help you tell the story better. Online journalists must also try and capture as much of ambience as possible, as natural sounds work to bring in certain authenticity and credibility to the story. But irritating sounds like the passing of a truck during an interview will be very distracting and so will have to be reshot. Do not forget to record sound and local ambience. Sound has a great role. Good reporters recognize that hearing the actual voice, intonation and uncensored language of a person can do far more for a story than a written quote lying flat on the page of a newspaper or magazine. A video of victims screaming with pain after a bomb blast would be useless without audio. Natural sound, also called wild sound, is a wonderful, powerful and elegant way to communicate. Use artificial sound only if there is no alternative. Do not force visuals on a reader. Give your audience a choice. They can read the copy and then watch the video with a click. If they are not interested, they can move on. Still pictures also work on the web. A still camera picture's ability to capture a moment so that it may be examined has not diminished. Some of them get locked in our memory and can be referred to by generations. The most evident graphic on the web is fonts. Be careful when you use them. Do not use fancy fonts or fonts which are difficult to read. Graphics must be instantly understandable. The temptation to use complex graphics is great in online journalism as they are easy to make or find, cut and paste. However, bandwidth remains the biggest obstacle to the full use of video. Real-time video displays 30 frames each second. Preparing for the full bandwidth world is vital. It will be the defining moment when the high quality video can be viewed on a computer monitor as it is now seen on television. Already, systems are being put in place: digital television, digital cameras and digital editing. You need to get ready for the future. Even if you are a print or television journalist, the journalism of the future will require you to convert your print or television story into a web story. All the three have distinct styles of writing as they cater to different mediums and different audiences. High production values and compelling storytelling are indeed important, but the third rail that powers the news industry is quality journalism, pure and simple. In online journalism, art and integrity will continue to count. You do not anymore need to arm yourself with an expensive camera to shoot. Many are now making videos with a camera phone. Writing for the web forces us to look at three ethical issues. The first issue has to do with where the information you find on the web comes from and how we judge its reliability. If we do not tell readers where we got the information from, there is lack of credibility and they will be left wondering whether to believe your story or to make judgments on the issue. The second concerns how we appropriately attribute and credit material we find on the web. It is important to identify sources as far as possible. We should also credit material that we have picked up from the web so that readers know where it came from and that it is not first-hand reportage by you. The third is about how much information you want to choose to share with your audience. Reporters have a lot of material when they end up researching a story. It could be photographs, video, diagrams, side stories and so on. You have to decide what is best to put up on the web. Let us quickly run through what we did today.
The future of online journalism is, to a large extent, it is dictating. This is because of the reason that online journalism has become the foretaste, it has created the sphere of foretaste that other forms of media were not able to do. Finding space or time in broadcast medium or print medium was difficult. So access of audience on other forms of media was highly restricted and limited. but it is online journalism that has created a platform for free access of information and free publication. So you can now access information easily and you can publish your opinion and you can reach the global audience. The future of online journalism this is more participatory. With the Web 2.0 phenomenon, it has become the new media, and this new media has given power to the people. It's not only, if we consider the cases of Middle East upturn with Jasmine revolution, or even Anna Hazare movement and the social networking side, the role it has played, it has become people's media. So there is one hand we have corporate media, and on the other hand we have people's media, but still becoming popular means the interest of media sources, other media corporates, into the online medium. So you can practice journalism not with sophisticated machineries, but with simple low cost mobiles. You can record video, you can record audio, and you can upload it.
As real-time video spreads through the web, the wall between the web and TV will crumble and disappear. Apart from a small niche of print writers, tomorrow's journalists will be able to use powerful storytelling tools. The convergence is likely to change the way journalists think and understand the mass media. We are already seeing dramatic changes. We are seeing how news involves greater immediacy, more personalization, increased reader participation, and bottomless depths of information. Clearly, online journalism is destined to change the journalism of the future. Online journalism is destined to propel you to a new world of journalism that is constantly changing and evolving. Enjoy yourself while writing for the web. That's all we have for you today. Goodbye and take care.